Welcome back everyone to another Elliot video. I am Elliot, who is the one recording this video. That's enough of an introduction for today. Yes, I got a new haircut, looking pretty sleek. I went for the full mullet this time. It's shaved on the sides now. We got a 1 on the sides. Wow, I can finally see my scalp and how dry it is. No, it's not that dry. But I think that is something that runs in the family, so I should look out for it. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some more niche design styles that I'm extremely passionate about because you all loved the last video so much. It got like 100,000 views. That's so many. Good to know you like it when I talk about things I'm passionate about. Isn't that what everyone likes? Just watching people talk about what they're passionate about? And I've kept like a notes list on my phone of like a bunch of different design styles that I've been adoring since that last video came out. So I've got like 7 more, at least 7 more. Now, when I say design styles, obviously this isn't like minimalism, brutalism, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about those. I care about the smaller things, the things that you wouldn't even consider design styles. In fact, they're not design styles. Most of these aren't design styles. They're just things that you might draw inspiration from, because we designers draw inspiration from everything and everyone. Yeah, so that's kind of what the point of this is. It's just like, it shouldn't be titled what it is, but we got clicks last time, so I'm going to title it the same thing. So I can't guarantee that these will all be design styles, but what I can guarantee is that there's only 7 of them this time. I know I lied last time, but trust me, there will only be 7 this video. Before we head over to the couch, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We are powering through to 60k. It'd be the best Christmas present you could get me. 60k. That'd be the best Christmas present ever. So would love that to happen. It is also time for today's featured item of the week. This week, today's featured item of the week is this book keychain by Paula De Alvaro. Congratulations, Paula, on receiving today's featured item of the week. Let's get into the video. My jeans are matching the pillow. What a cool design choice. Also, shout out to my Monstera. Oh my god, that plant is out. That plant's outgrowing the bloody apartment. Time to humble it, I think. Our first submission today, would you believe, is a viewer submission. That's right, someone sent me this and I had to include it in the video. It's just simply too good, so we're going to start with it. It's the Ormco Zoo Pack Elastics. So if anyone's had braces before, guilty. You might have had elastics, which is those little, like, tiny little rubber bands you put in your mouth. Like, imagine just putting a rubber band on the top and bottom part of your teeth. That's what it feels like, right? And they're like these tiny little rubber bands, and they come in these like tiny little packages. And I remember them always being pretty boring. I used to get the fluorescent colored ones. They were pretty fun, but otherwise they were pretty boring. But then I saw this packaging, this Ormco Zoo packaging. Look how cool these are. So each one has like a little animal. I think the different animal represents a different size of band, which is pretty sick. And they're just like these simple little black and white drawings, like stencils almost. They're just so simple, and the text is so clean too. Like, it's a really nice combo. Yeah, there is no need for braces elastics to go this hard, and yet Ormco is like, let's make something out of this. And that's what I think the important lesson of this one is, you know, like, maybe you're working on a simple brand and you're told make it simple. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe you can put an animal on it. Maybe you can create history by doing that. Next up is the NFL weird graphic sequences. I've been getting these a lot on my YouTube suggested. It just goes like, wow, the NFL really went all out on this sequence. And then it's like just this little video clip with a commentator kind of talking about stats, and they do these like 3D renders of the players doing all sorts of things. I don't know who in their like marketing department kind of came up with this, like doing these really abstract, strange 3D renders, but it's a genius marketing move, I think, personally. This is kind of like whenever the NFL does a like a Nickelodeon. Have anyone seen those? The Nickelodeon episodes of the Nickelodeon games? It's like where they do like a kid-friendly broadcast by collaborating with Nickelodeon. That's like a whole other design style that I'll talk about at a later date, but they got like the slime and everything. It's really quite cool. Next up, we have Corcow. Speaking of Corcow, let me get the dog. Such an essential part of the viewing experience. So this here is a dog rug from, a lot of people think it's a cushion, funnily enough, but it's a rug, and it's from a place called Corcow. I got this rug, Dr. Toothy up there, That's a Corkow thing as well. And then I also have this candle boy who is also an incense burner. And yeah, they're just so cool. What I especially love about Corkow is that like the whole thing seems considered. Like the boxes that they come in, it's like this really nice hand-drawn kind of style. It's a lot of cheeky fun. It's a little bit silly. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It feels very Elliot, which is why I guess I keep buying stuff from them. But it's a very joyful, you know, kind of brand, which I think is surprisingly rare. I feel like I think a lot of people brand themselves as like trying to be super cool, you know. It's all about like, oh, this is a rare piece, it's cool, it's a collector's thing, blah blah blah. But then Corkow are just like, this is a bit of fun. All these little characters that we've created are having a good time. They all serve a purpose. Dr. Toothy has a toothbrush, you know. That's awesome. So I really like Corkow, and I wish I was more like them. Next up, we have the work of Daisuke Kondo. Daisuke makes these little figures that are like all made of, I think, wood and styrofoam and like all painted on with acrylic, which is such a simple composition of materials, but it works so well. There's just so much heart in their work. It's a beautiful thing to look at. All these little characters, they all, I think, come with like a little thank you card, which like has this like real nice green to it, which is lovely. There's this real childish fun to it that's just so sweet. And can you imagine just like sitting around your place with like a bunch of these little figures everywhere? What a dream that would be. They're all sold out, unfortunately. I was going to buy one, but they are so cool. I think the feeling behind them is what's so inspiring for me. That's why I'd call the design style La Puz Puzzles. One of my favorite artists on the Instagram platform is Angela Kirkwood, who I've talked about briefly before, I think in one of my earlier Design with Elliot. And she's just released these little jigsaw sets with La Puz Puzzles, which is an amazing name, can I just say, for a company, for specifically a jigsaw puzzle company. And when it comes to branding, this takes the cake for me. I don't know if I've seen branding that I like more than this. So this is the front of the box, right, which you've got the design there, you've got the little illustration of what you're going to make out of this puzzle, and then you've got this huge block of text in the background, which is just like the perfect choice of font, the perfect choice of weight, and that beautiful shade of yellow with all the little details as well. It's amazing. But then you look at the back and there is so much going on. There's a whole story behind the characters in this little puzzle. There's a whole thing, you know. It's like, it's an essay on the back of there. The amount of character that this packaging has is just so cool. Yeah, it's got like so much life to it. It's not just like a bland, like minimalist, sleek kind of thing. It's like full on embracing the style of the artist as well, which I think is really cool. You know, it like works perfectly, even though they're two separate entities, the artist and the brand, but they work together really nicely, and it kind of like they play into each other really well. So yeah, I think this is just some of the coolest stuff that I've seen recently. Next up, we have the Pokedex boxes. I may or may not have picked up Pokemon Scarlet the other day, okay? As much as the performance issues piss me off, there's something about Pokemon that'll always pull me in. What a company Game Freak is that will always just do that to me. I didn't even like Sword and Shield. I just feel like I'll like this one more. So far I have been. It's been good. I may or may not have bought it, like I said before. But one thing I did notice was the little thing that they do whenever you collect a Pokemon. So usually you just kind of like fill out an entry in the Pokedex and it kind of just like fills a page or whatever. It just kind of like fills in the blanks. It's a basic, simple animation. But this generation of Pokemon, they've done something a little bit different. So every time you catch a Pokemon and it enters into the Pokedex, it turns into like this little box, which has its own little branding and like in the Pokemon language and everything. Like it's all kind of set up and composed really nicely. And then it kind of slots into this library of sorts with this really satisfying click sound, which I just know they did on purpose. That's the perfect sound, and it makes it very satisfying to collect Pokemon. They're very smart. But like the fact that each of the Pokemon have their own little box cover, I think was really cool. That was something that really stood out for me. And yeah, that's cool. I thought I had more to say about it, and I don't. Fruits Art Club. If you know, you know. You just had to be there. Fruits Art Club is an Instagram page. They haven't been active since the 18th of June 2021. But I think Fruits Art Club defines a very certain style of design that has a special place in my heart because it's what I kind of like started. Fruits Art Club is a big reason why I started posting on Instagram in the first place. Basically, the thing was, this is like 2019, 2020 and all, like probably before that as well. but the peak I felt was like around 2019. This was the black background era. So you would make a poster, you'd put it on a black background, and you'd upload it to Instagram, you know? This is before people started doing the 4:5 ratio designs, you know? You do like the classic A4 style, slap it on a black background, and then post it. Yeah, like it was the cool thing to do. You'd upload it, you'd use hashtag Fruits Art Club or hashtag Soda Magazine. There were a bunch of other pages that had a similar purpose of reposting and kind of like building a community and a catalog of all these amazing designers. You'd post it with that hashtag, and then you just hope that maybe one day you'd get uploaded. And let me tell you, there was nothing better, no better feeling than getting a repost by a page like Fruits Art Club. Have a scroll down the page and you'll just notice that there's a certain kind of style that I think they were looking for, because each of these pages were usually run by one person, right? Like there is a curator, there is a sense that it has been curated, that there is a kind of like mutual style in mind. And I think Fruits Art Club very much has that. These pages were basically my Pinterest back in the day. You know, you just kind of scroll down this, not just because I wanted to get uploaded by them, so I would like, you know, change my design style based on what they posted so I could get a repost. But because of it was just a really nice way of finding new designers and kind of seeing what was, I guess, trending and cool at the time. I feel like these pages always had the upper hand on seeing what was next in line, what was, you know, next up. And it's a real shame that these reposting pages kind of slowly died. I feel like you just don't see them as much anymore. A few are still going, but like, I don't know if it's something to do with the algorithm or something, but this was like the way to grow on Instagram back in the day. Yeah, so shout out to Fruits Art Club. They genuinely were a huge part in like the elliotisacoolguy thing. They were huge for me. Logos that trust how iconic they are. This is an interesting one because it's not really design style. Have any of them been? I saw this billboard the other day, and it was an ad for NRMA, which is a, you know, roadside insurance. I think they just do car insurance. I don't drive. And yeah, instead of it's a very simple logo. I'll put it up here. But instead of the NRMA logo, instead of saying NRMA, they just wrote help, which is what they do. They offer help. You know, when you're in need of help, you would, in specific circumstances, you would call NRMA. And I don't think it like added anything necessarily. Like, I don't know why they changed that, but everyone knows the NRMA logo. So even just seeing help, I was like, this is an NRMA logo. And that kind of, and I was like, yeah, I like that, I think. Doritos do it as well. They had a recent campaign. Hang on. Yeah, they had this whole like logo goes here kind of thing where they just trusted that the shape of the Dorito would be enough. And then I think they even went a bit further than that. They just relied on the chip itself, not even the logo, just the chip. I think that takes a lot of guts. It's kind of like a viral marketing stunt for sure, but wow, the 1994 to 1999 Doritos logo. That's one heck of a logo right there. Bring that back. Next up, we have Undertime Slopper. If you've been on TikTok recently, you might have seen Undertime Slopper. This is a page that I'm just absolutely adore. I can't get enough of Undertime Slopper. I love Undertime Slopper, as they say. If you've watched the videos, you would have heard that phrase. Very specific type of video editing these videos have. I don't want to dive too into it because I want to appreciate it just for what it is and the mystery behind it. I don't want to like break it down or get up. I don't want to like break it down too much or analyze it because I just like it as it is, you know. Very cool, very specific itch that it scratches, you know. Yeah, I want to make stuff like that. I think it's really awesome. Have a look at this one specifically and tell me this doesn't like fascinate you.
Something I recognize. Will my wife be waiting for me? I'm finally free.
Free for dinner? I mean, free to be my dinner. Oh, damn it. I messed it up.
Can we reschedule?
I love underline slobber.
Right? The 2022 Spotify Wrapped branding. This one was pretty much universally loved, wasn't it? Wow, that was an easy. Spotify did it and they were like, no worries. No controversy this time. Done. We win. Haha. Let it be known that I loved the stretch type thing that they did last year. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was a very easy way of kind of like separating cool designers from others. Yeah, I'll say that. I think cool designers can appreciate the stretch type thing. It was Spotify doing wildly stretch type and using text as texture, not just as text. Thought it was awesome. But yeah, this year was really cool. I really liked what they did with it all. The whole like the very simple geometric shape kind of thing was so clean and it worked really well. The bright colors. I really like Spotify's like broader color palette too, more than just the green. I personally am not a big fan of the color green unless it's like to do with, you know, a plant. I think the green we find in nature What am I talking? Where is this going? VR 3D. So as I've been learning Blender a bit more, you know, you might have been following my 3D design journey. There is an Instagram page out there. Take a guess at what the name is and you'll find it. And I've been, you know, trying to do a little bit of Blender every day to kind of get my skills up as I go along. I've been pretty inconsistent because I had a lot of work on last week. So it's been nearly a week and a half since I've picked up Blender, but that's okay. But one thing that I want to get into is VR sculpting, right? Now, there's a brilliant design studio called Yonk. What they do is a lot of their stuff, they'll put on the VR headset and they kind of like sculpt, and they're almost like pottery, like making ceramics in a way. They use the controllers to kind of do things that you couldn't just do with a mouse and a keyboard, yeah? And then you kind of take that thing that you've designed, you chuck it in Blender, and then you use it just as an object file, and you can, you know, add shaders to it and stuff, and that's great. So I'm going to be trying stuff like that soon. But I got a lot of friends who have been into it in the past as well, which is sick. And I think it just like opens up this new kind of way where it's a much more like human, even though it's so not, right? Because you're doing it in this digital space, it feels like a very human way of making digital art. And I really like that. And I think it could be used well with poster design and things like that. So keep an eye out for 3D Elliot. He's doing cheeky things. Shirts that go hard. Shirts that go hard on Twitter, or Good Shirts as they're known on Instagram. I believe they're the same person. Very simple pages that just repost shirts that go hard or shirts that are good. Yeah. But what they do is they tap into a very specific style and design. We talked about this in the last video a little bit with the whole fish and chip shop branding, where I think that there are some things that are created that obviously aren't like, they're not necessarily following the rules. They just kind of get it's like a sense of what the rules of design are. Not that I like the rules or believe in them necessarily, but like the classic rules that you might be taught at school, yeah? Like there's just a sense of the rules present. It's very much like it's just someone who's had a go and tried to make something cool, and it's just hasn't worked out, but at the same time it very much has. It's that effortlessness to it that I absolutely admire about stuff like this, and it's something that is so hard to replicate. I tried to make one of these shirts for a friend recently, and like trying to just the idea of like choosing a font, yeah, I think it's best if you just like delete all the fonts on your computer and just rock with the default ones to make shirts, like because that's what it is, right? You're not gonna, I'm like, oh, which designer font should I use? And I'm like, no, let me just go to Times New Roman or something, right? There's a real nice simplicity to them, and it's just this carelessness and this enjoyment that absolutely exudes from them that I just wish I could replicate, you know. Next up we have packaging tape. I got this cool little knick-knack from a place called Jarlo the other day, right? It's a very cool little Michelin Man style thing. It holds candles. It's by the Aloha Project on Instagram. It's the coolest thing I've ever received in my life. And the box shows up, right? And I get this delivery, and I was like, oh, this would have been marked fragile, right? And I look, and the fragile sticker on this box was a custom designed fragile sticker, and I fell in love. Later, I realized that there were 2 more fragile stickers in the box for me to use. That's how much they know. That's how they know how good that fragile sticker is. So they bloody chuck it in as well. That's so sick. And it got me thinking about like creative ways that I think cool brands use packaging and take the simple things like just the tape that the box has on it, or simple things like the fragile sticker, right? Like I think Actual Source is a really cool company that does that. If you haven't seen Actual Source before, I wish I could get really sorted and like make a really sick like packaging for my own stuff. Like if I ever sell merch or anything like that, I can't guarantee anything, but I would like to at least try to like have a sense of this like personalization to it that I think is really cool. Shout out to all the like small Etsy artists and stuff who do that kind of thing too. It must take a lot of time and effort that I just don't understand how people get motivated to have. Like I just I love the idea of it, but like sitting down for a day and like, you know, putting all this nice little tape on everything, like God. But I really appreciate it when I see it. So I think it's great. I think it's awesome. And finally, we have these paintings by Hang Gao. I found these on TikTok, funnily enough, in a carousel. But I saw them ages ago somewhere else. I feel like they've gone viral many times because they tap into a online audience, I guess, due to the inherent nature of the subject matter. But I think this style of painting is so cool. I'm such a big fan of this. The whole like low poly PS1 kind of style, taking that very digital medium and then slapping it on the canvas with a bit of paint and getting it to be like so realistic in that way as well. They have such like a way of, they almost like float off the page, I think, off the canvas rather. They kind of like exist outside the, I don't know what I'm trying to sound like, artsy here when I speak about them, but I just think they're cool. I have a few honorable mentions as well. These are graduation pictures from a university in Kyoto that allows students to wear whatever they want. Some of these are very cool. This is a very cool design style. There is a cat on TikTok that bites a lot until the owner says this.
No bite.
And that always results in the cat making a very strange face. Very cool design style. And finally, this TikTok from the official Designers Humor TikTok page, showing how in touch they are with the youth of today. And there you have it. Those were 7 design styles that I am extremely passionate about and wanted to share with you. So hopefully you enjoyed that being shared with you, I guess. Design is everywhere, even in the places you wouldn't expect it to be. You can find the golden ratio in everything. That's what they all say. So really don't be afraid to seek out design in unexpected places and social media. Hope you guys like this video. If you have any thoughts about any of the styles that I've mentioned, feel free to leave them in the comments. Or if you have anything else that really tickles your fancy that you want me to check out for the next video, then chuck that in the comments as well. I want to see all of your comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitch for the occasional live stream that I do over there now. Really been slack on streaming. I've just been too busy playing Pokemon Scarlet on my Nintendo Switch. Check out my Instagram as well if you want to see my actual design work. If you're curious as to, if you think like, oh, where's this, if you want to, maybe you think I'm a good designer and that validates my videos or something. I don't know. And check out the other design styles video if you haven't already, because it's really cool. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you had a lovely start to your week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for, I think, something a little bit different, okay? Next week's video is going to be me experimenting a little bit, I think. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see how that goes. It should be a bit of fun, okay? So I'll see you then. All right, have a good one. Bye for now. I'll see you later, okay? See ya. See ya. See ya.